Hello YouTube, welcome to another one of my Duel Links videos, and today I have a very spicy Monarch deck. I was waiting to build Monarchs because I really wanted to make a very good, very fun version of the deck. And this is one of those decks that is made for me to get used to the cards and then eventually cut it to 20 cards. Well, it is so good at 30 cards that I just had to left it at that. It might look very random, but trust me, once you see the plays you can make with this crazy deck, you're gonna understand why I kept it at 30 cards. So we have some new cards to go over, namely the boy Erebus, the Underworld Monarch. So Monarchs finally have a true boss in their deck. This card is insane. You can tribute this card by tributing one tribute summon monsters. There's many ways we can do that. We can tribute an actual tribute summon monster, or you can use Restoration of the Monarchs. Activate this card by targeting one monster in your graveyard with 2400 attack and 1000 defense, or 2800 attack and 1000 defense. Special summon in defense position but negate its effects. Also equip it with this card. When this card leaves the field, destroy that monster. The equipped monster can be treated as 2 tributes for a tribute summon. So this card, you know, any monster you bring back you can use as 2 tributes, so that's another easy way to summon Erebus. Other than that, we have vassals, we have the Prime Monarch, so it's really easy to get 2 monsters on the board to tribute. And then once you do that, if this card is tribute summon, you can send 2 Monarch spell trap cards with different names from your hand and or deck to the graveyard. So you're thinning the deck out and you're putting resources in your graveyard. We have very cool trap and spells that I'll go over in a little bit. But then if you do, you can shuffle 1 card from your opponent's hand at random, or you choose one from the graveyard, side of the field, or from the graveyard or side of the field into the deck. That is such a good effect. It doesn't target, you just shuffle whatever you want. This also happens in the resolution, so if your opponent doesn't chain anything to the activation of the Monarch effect, they don't get to chain the card you're targeting or do anything with the card you're sending. It all happens in the resolution, so that's pretty good. But really, the graveyard effect is what makes this card shine for me. Look at this bad boy right there. It says, once per turn during either player's main phase, if this card is in your graveyard, you can discard 1 Monarch spell or trap card, then target 1 monster in your graveyard with 2400 or more attack and 1000 defense added to your hand. So you can he can add himself to the hand if he's in the graveyard. All you have to do is discard any of your Monarch spell traps. And why that's so good is because we don't have to run -1 cards such as monster reincarnation, because this monster has that effect built into it, and you don't have to just get this monster. You can go for whatever you need. Do you want to burn your opponent and make them lose a card from the hand? Get the Fire Monarch. Do you need to destroy a monster? You get Sabor. Do you need to destroy the face down? You get Grandmark. Is there a back row in your way? You get Mobius. I mean, it's obviously all dependent in what you send to the graveyard with grass. But the fact that you can add anything, it's really good. There's also no restriction about using it once per turn. So if you have two of them in the graveyard, you can activate them both, add both of them to the hand. It's just really good. The rest of the cards you guys already know. We have the Fire Monarch. Like I said, you destroy a card in your opponent's, discard a card in your opponent's hand and burn him if it's a monster card. This one destroys face downs, this one destroys monsters, this one destroys face down, spell, and trap card. Well, actually, no, you can target face up still. Okay, so just spell and trap cards. Now for the vassal monster, we have the rock vassal. These cards in your hand, you can target one face up monster your opponent controls. You cannot special summon monsters from the extra deck for the rest of this turn. Also special summon this card, and if you do, change the monster to defense position. I just realized I'm already like 5 minutes in and I have so many more cards to go into. Also, if this card is tribute for a tribute summon, you can target 1 monster with 800 and 1000 defense in your graveyard. So basically all of your vassals. Accept itself, add it to your hand. You can only use each effect once per turn. we have the Fire Vassal. You guys know what this does. You discard 1 to summon this. If it gets tributed, you can banish a card from your opponent's hand. Look at your opponent's hand, banish a card for the rest of the turn. Thunder Vassal, you special summon it to your side of the field. Your opponent gets a token in their side of the field, and then if you tribute this, you can get an additional tribute summon. And then the new boy, he is not technically a vassal. He is Eidos, the Underworld Squire, but he kind of acts like one. If this card is normal, special summon in your main phase, this turn you can tribute summon 1 monster in addition to your normal summon set. So you can normal summon this guy, then follow up with a tribute of any of your Monarch monsters, which is really good. Wish I had 3 of them. And then you can banish this card from your graveyard, then target 1 monster with 800 attack and 1000 defense. So any of your vassal, except himself, special summon in defense position, but you cannot summon monsters from the extra deck for the rest of that turn. That's very important, because if you're trying to go into your Synchro engine, yes, we have a Synchro engine, you need to do this last, otherwise you won't be able to do it that turn. So where's our Synchro engine? It is called Jet Synchron. This card is so good. I was so happy I got 1 copy of it. If this card is sent to the graveyard as Synchro material, you can add 1 junk monster. We don't care about that. If this card is in your graveyard, you can send 1 card from your hand to the graveyard, any card. Special summon this card, but banish it when it leaves the field. You can only use 1 Jet Synchron effect per turn, and only once that turn. So what does Jet Synchron do in this deck? It gives us fodder for tribute if we need it. It gives us a Synchro engine, and it lets us control what we have in the graveyard. You want all of this spell and traps, believe it or not, in the graveyard. If you have extra grass looks greener, they're usually dead. Not with Jet Synchron. You just discard them, summon the boy, go for a Synchro play. Jet Synchron is great. The Synchro engine we have for that is a level 9 Vermilion, 2 level 7 Black Rose and Samurai Destroyer. We have 2 level 6 Brionac and Psyhemoth. And then we have our Mateys, the level 5. So now for the spells. Oh my god, this is so long. Spell Specialist, we need 5 spells with different names. So we have Grass, Galaxy Cyclone, and then 3 Monarch spells. Monarch of the Monarchs. Tribute summon monsters you control cannot be targeted or destroyed by card effects. You cannot special summon from the extra deck. This card is really good, but it restricts the extra deck. That's why I'm only running 1. You do need it because you need different names in order to activate your Erebus effect. Restoration, I already said what this card does. And then we have Frost Blast of the Monarchs. If you control a monster with 2400 or more attack and 1000 defense, so any of your boss monsters, target 1 set card on the field and destroy it. Then you can banish this card and 1 Monarch spell trap card from your graveyard to target another set card on the field and destroy it. This removal is crazy with Erebus, because you just send this card and any other card, and you already have the cost to banish this and the other Monarch card to destroy any face down, on top of shuffling a card with Erebus. So the card advantage is pretty crazy. And then the best card in this entire deck, the Prime Monarch. Once per turn you can target 2 Monarch spell trap cards in your graveyard, shuffle them into the deck, then draw 1 card. That is a great effect, and I never use that effect. If this card is in your graveyard, you can banish 1 other Monarch spell trap card from your graveyard. Special summon this card in defense position as a normal monster, fairy type, level 5, 1000 attack, 2400 defense. This card is not treated as a trap card, and you can only use this effect once per turn. That is so broken. It's not broken, it's not broken. It's so good, it's so good. Because your opponent usually will think they have an easy OTK. Boom, you summon the Prime Monarch to eat an attack. You summon the Prime Monarch to tribute summon. You summon the Prime Monarch to go into your Synchro place. This card is amazing. I love it at 3. And then 2 first Monarchs, just more name spell traps for Erebus effect. And that's pretty much it. 10-minute deck explanation. My throat is killing me because I was talking as fast as I could. I just finished streaming for 2 hours. But yeah, I really hope you enjoyed this deck. And if you skip the explanation, I don't blame you, but please watch this game. Just watch this spice. We're gonna start things off with a mirror match. So you're saying 20 card Monarchs are better? I politely disagree. Alright, we're going first. Go ahead and activate that Grass Looks Greener. Activate my Erebus. Send the Frost. add a Monarch, Frost Monarch to my hand. Because I didn't want to make an Erebus turn 1 play. I could have if I wanted to shuffle one of the cards back. But I'm like, you know what? I have a good setup. I have a First Monarch and a Prime Monarch. I'm not losing this turn. Let's just summon Lucius using Ados, because I'm not going to summon anything from the extra deck. At this point, I didn't even have an extra deck. I was still using Jet Synchron for the Tribute Fodder. So it's going to use Rock Vassal. Mobius destroys both of my spell and traps, unfortunately. But at least I get to shuffle 2 back and draw 1 using my Prime Monarch. And I don't care that those cards are in the graveyard, because I can just banish 1 to summon my trap card. So now we can get rid of his card advantage. And I still have my graveyard, so I feel like I have the card advantage until I see the baggy sleeves. My man just drew 2 cards because he lost a level 5 or higher monster on the field. So that's fine. We're gonna activate Prime Monarch during his end phase, so that way we can reuse it in our turn. I can tribute the Mobius and then just summon the Prime Monarch back if I want to. There we go, banish, summon. Mobius, get rid of both back row. He has his own Prime Monarch, but he doesn't have anything to shuffle back to draw. And this is kind of a lock because I don't have a way to boost my Mobius, but that's fine. We do have Saborg. There's the Jet Synchron. Discard the useless Grass Looks Greener. Destroy it. We get the OTK. He ran out of resources, that's all I can tell you. And then the duel that got me really excited about this deck. The first one was cool, you know, it was a mirror match, but it felt a little clunky. It felt not polished. And then I was like, okay, we need to use the Jet Synchron and have an actual extra deck to go into. So that's why you now see the extra deck, Spell Specialist. We're going first. Activate that Grass. Activate my boy Erebus. Send the Frost. Get the Erebus back. And right here, I'm like, you know what? I have Restoration, so why not shuffle a card back while at the same time setting up my graveyard with the Prime Monarch for further tributes. So we shuffle a card back from his hand. Magnetic Field. Activate Prime Monarch. Use the Frost to destroy the face down. He activates Rock Bombardment. That's cool. And then here comes the quick trigger. Jet Synchron. He goes for the Electromagnet too soon. He should have waited a little bit. Not that it matters. I had ways to get his entire field cleared out, but now we can use the Jet Synchron. Summon Brionac. Activate Brionac's effect. Discard. Send that card back to your hand. Hold this OTK. So yeah, if he didn't do that, we could have forced the issue with my boy Vermilion instead. Destroy the field spell. Really put him in a bad spot no matter what. So we snagged that W. Man, my throat is killing me. It is 1 in the morning. Work was crazy today. I didn't even get to take a nap because it was my niece's birthday party, which I had a lot of fun playing with my son, but that was also a lot of yelling, a lot of Leon, stop running. My son's name is Leon, by the way, if you don't know that. So my throat is just not feeling well right now. Alright, we're going first yet again. Even though this deck prefers to go second, we're going first and this is fine. I don't have to set any of my back row because it's Blue Eyes. I don't want my stuff getting banished. He can't OTK me, but even if he tried, I had my Prime Monarch to eat up an attack. Alright, we're gonna use Ados. Erebus, Land Robe activate. Get my Mithra back to my hand, and we're gonna shuffle back the Dragon Spirit of White. Why? Because I don't really care about this back row. I have Frost to destroy it, and then even if there was more back row, I could just banish the Frost after that. So we get rid of the Silver Scribe, activate Prime Monarch. So because I use my my Vassal effect, not my Vassal effect, this guy, what's his name? My boy Ados. I'm not able to go into a Synchro monster this turn, which is very unfortunate. That's why I'm, you know, I was still learning how to pilot this deck. So you want to do your Eidos last after you've done your synchro plays and whatnot. But we're gonna go for a second Erebus. First we destroy the Dimensional Prison. We summon a second Erebus, shuffle the other card into the deck, and we get the W. That was the first Kaiba. Now we have another Kaiba. I forgot to mention. So this guy, I don't remember his name, but is the same guy that's... Come on, man. This deck is already so long. I didn't need this. Konami, fix your game, please. Yeah, cool. God, those resets are so annoying. Anyway, the first duel was like 3 hours before this duel, but my boy Shiv TM, I don't know him, but I dueled him twice. And I was kind of laughing because it's like I beat Monarchs out of him. My boy was not playing Monarchs anymore. The second time I saw him, he switched decks. He was like, you know what, I'm out here trying to play fun decks. I'm going Black Wings. Well, how does this deck deal with Black Wings, you ask? And my answer, Mithra the Thunder Vassal. This card is so good against Black Wings because you put a token on their side of the field, so they can't Simoon anymore. They can tribute for the Simoon, but they can't banish a monster to get a Black Whirlwind from the deck and then get that additional normal summon of Simoon. So that's literally all I do. I have a really good hand. I have Grass, I have Erebus, so there's many options for me. What I'm gonna go for is I'm going to Mithra. Mithra gives me an additional normal summon. We're destroying a card from his hand, which is the counter trap. Prime Monarch. Get my boy Erebus. And ends turn, because he can't do anything. So now we're just gonna win. I saved this just to show you how ridiculous Mithra, you know, just the Mithra. That's all I did. That's all I did, and this Blackwing player lost. I don't think necessarily he bricked. I think he was just like, whatever, Mithra, and I can't do anything now. You know, I've had those duels personally, but it was kind of funny that was the same guy that was playing Monarchs at the beginning, and I just beat the Monarchs out of him. He went full Blackwings, still got wrecked by the same Monarch deck. I hope you're watching this, man. I hope you're a viewer. Or I hope you search me up after you saw me in your duel log. But last but not least, we're finally going second. This is the power of the going second deck. Brave Neos turn 1. How do we deal with that? Erebus. Erebus doesn't care about the Neos fusion in the graveyard. We're gonna summon Sabord. Mithra gives us an additional normal summon, so we can destroy the token, summon the Erebus, using the tribute summon monster, so we only required one tribute, shuffle the guy back, hit him for 28, emergency call, and this is what I'm talking about. This guy thought, oh, I got the W, man. You done goofed. I win. He's gonna summon Neos Elias, go for Poly, Grand Merge. He's gonna tribute the Grand Merge to summon a Shining Flare Wingman, and he's like, I win. Nuh-uh. I got the Prime Monarch. You cannot attack me, sir, because Grand Merge says it cannot attack monsters with an equal or lower level than it. So you don't get to do anything. I get a free fodder. Erebus gets added back to my hand. Second Prime Monarch. And for the second time in a row, shuffle that boy back into the extra deck and hold this L. I love this deck, man. It's not super strong, obviously. I mean, it's amazing. What I mean is not going to be, you know, I hate using tiers, but it's not gonna be in the tiers. You're not gonna see this Rogue Spice in the tier list. But I love it, man. I'm gonna save it for for tomorrow night. Well, actually, you guys will be seeing this today. Tonight, later when I stream tonight, I'm going to be using this deck, and we'll try to get DLV max with it, man. I mean, if it works, it works. If it doesn't, it doesn't. But trust me, it is super fun. If you can build it, I recommend you try it. You will have a lot of fun using it. But that's gonna be it for me. Thank you guys so much for watching. As always, like, comment, and subscribe if you want. And till next time.